essentially represent them in the sale.
Say that I was privy to that.
The rap world is undergoing a reckoning at the moment as everyone is looking at the dark secrets that are spilling out with the news that Diddy might be going away for life. People are now questioning who else might be in line to have their private lives exposed with the terrible things that they've done to others coming to light and potentially ruining their reputation. And at the moment, it's not just one individual under scrutiny, but it's rap's real power couple who are being placed under the microscope, as they are now facing accusations that range from behind-the-scenes political manipulation to even murder. And this is the disturbing alleged double life of Jay Z and Beyonce. During a recent interview with Piers Morgan, R&B singer and conspiracy theorist Jaguar Wright made several allegations, although she had been brought on the show to discuss the diddler and how she had been calling him out for years. She went majorly off script and started talking about Heave and the former Destiny's Child singer churn.
Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay Z are monsters, and the victim-making machine kept going on.
When Piers pointed out that Ho hadn't responded to all the rumors going around about their friendship after Diddy's arrest, Wright claimed that Jay's underhanded tactics and sneaky ways of avoiding direct involvement have allowed him to stay on top in the industry. Rather than say he was just an accomplice to evil, she said that in reality, Jay was the connective tissue between many of the big names who have been involved in horrific acts.
That's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond.
Rather than say he was just an accomplice to evil, she said that in reality, Jay was the connective tissue between many of the big names who have been involved in horrific acts.
Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
She even claimed there are people ready to come forward with their stories, adding fuel to a conspiracy theory that's recently gained a lot of attention, one involving their alleged connection to the tragic death of another prominent R&B artist.
Right now, who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things. Keeping people against their will, putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah.
Morgan got hit with a cease and desist and was made to censor his allegedly uncensored show.
You were right, unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. Like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay Z and Beyonce.
After it was pulled from air and Morgan had this tail between his legs, their lawyer, Alex Spio, labeled the claim as clearly false. There's rumors and then there's nonsense. And this is one step further. He told TMZ, and this is a pointed and formal accusation of something. I felt it needed to be responded to. I think somebody reported. It was a cease and desist. It wasn't that. It was quite bluntly an ultimatum, which is to remove that false accusation that's demonstrably false, or a court is going to order you to. So I think he made the wise choice and acted accordingly. Some people agreed with their legal team that you couldn't just make claims like this without any consequences, but there were some who felt that this made Jay Z and Beyonce look way more guilty than they would otherwise, and maybe the damage had been done. Where there's smoke, there's fire. It's too late to edit it out. The internet lives forever. And I mean, they're right. Once you put something onto social media, it takes on a new life of its own. And these days, there's a lot of people who are wondering now if Jay Z and Beyonce weren't just in cahoots with Puff, but were just as bad as the diddler himself, because even after the threats of legal action from Jay and Ba's legal team, Jaguar continued to argue that if Diddy was brought to justice, they would be two.
Focus. They're one and the same. Tell me something. When you have a peanut butter jelly sandwich, if it's just peanut butter, it's just peanut butter. If it's just jelly, it's jelly. When you put it together, it becomes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the taste is undeniable.
You saying Diddy and Jay Z is peanut butter jelly?
Peanut butter and jelly. Let's deal with the sandwich.
As opposed to jumping on the bandwagon, it should be noted that this is definitely the first time that she leveled these claims at Hove and Co. Instead, Jaguar, who sang backing vocals on Jay Z's Unplugged album, has been claiming that Hugh abused her and others for years.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler, and I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it. Want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit. That Cassie shit, that's nothing.
Are you trying to say like Jay Z put hands on you?
I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy. It's gonna be the women that give him in the end.
Of course, there are some people who would discredit Jaguar. Right throughout the years, she has shown signs of instability, such as throwing her son's ashes at people during an argument before smearing them on her own skin.
Oh, my dear son. Oh, my dear son. Oh, my son. Oh, my son. God, they're all dead.
No,
they're all dead. They're all dead. They're all dead. They're all dead.
But as hard as that is to accept, she has been proven right in other ways, from Diddy's secret freak-offs right down to the ingredients of the cocktail that Diddy used to sedate the participants in these events.
Drug is a horse tranquilizer. Now, gay men have been using this for years. If you went to a gay party or a gay rave, there were certain drugs that you would always find on hand. Viagra, Special K, and cocaine.
But, as headline-grabbing as what she has to say is right, is ultimately only one voice in the crowd of people who have suggested that there's something seriously warped on behind the scenes in Ho's life, right down to fellow Nines hip-hop artists like Lord Jamar. According to him, Ho's indiscretions were a lot better disguised than Diddy's, but the fact that he started dating Beyoncé after meeting her when she was just 17 years old, as well as rumors that he got with Foxy Brown when the rapper was 15 and he was 27, should have rang alarm bells.
If he was doing ill shit like that, he was more quiet about it. You know what I mean? But then, if we be real with ourselves, it was kind of abnormal when he got with Beyonce. Like, she was pretty young when he got with her. There's rumors that he was messing with Foxy Brown when she was pretty young, you know. So there's a lot of those rumors around.
But if you ask out,
you know, I'm not gonna lie. When certain people get to a certain level of fame, I don't know why, but you start to hear little about certain people sometimes. If you really think about most of your top celebrities, black celebrities, rappers, I feel like I've heard a rumor damn near about all of them. It could be. Or it could be that motherfuckers gotta join a club in order to get to a certain level. Everybody that goes past a certain point, you'll hear a little, have I heard little shit about Jay Z? Yup.
The whole Foxy Brown situation is one that's had people concerned for a long time. Even when she appeared on his debut album in 1996, the track was recorded 2 years earlier, when she was just 15. Then as her first album emerged when she was 17, it was full O-fly explicit lyrics and had 5 co-writing credits for, you guessed it, Sha Carter. So at this point, HOV and Foxy's relationship seems to be an open secret. Even Jason Lee hinted towards it on a recent IG Live after Puffy's arrest.
Got a lot of y'all scared because your favorite rapper was sleeping with a 15-year-old. But listen, here's the deal.
But when it comes to Jay's questionable behavior around young women, it doesn't end with those he tries to court. Sometimes he's threatening teenagers just to get their signature on a contract. During an appearance on Tyra Banks' show way back in the day, a 17-year-old Rihanna let it slip that Jay had been a little forceful in convincing her to sign to Def Jam back when he was still at the helm of the label.
There are 2 ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor. So you was like, where's the pen? Paper, I'm signing.
Yeah, this may have seemed like a lighthearted anecdote from Riri at the time, but considering everything we now know about how the top figures in hip-hop operate, it lands a little differently, particularly when you hear some of the stories about how Jay and Ba have allegedly moved through both the industry and their own secretive lives. The name Kathy Corana White might not necessarily mean anything to you, but for those who are familiar with the dirt surrounding the Carters, she's one of the most interesting individuals in the whole situation. It was alleged that back in the day, Kathy and Jay Z were engaged in an affair. Eventually, the press got wind of it and tried to follow up, but then something horrible happened before the truth could come out. The story comes from former entertainment reporter Liz Sen, who said that she was on the cusp of blowing the whole thing wide open when tragedy struck in August of 2011. I was working as a senior editor for Star Magazine. My boss asked me to look into online blog reports claiming that a woman named Kathy Corana White, who friends called Corey, was having an affair with Jay Z. The blog that reportedly first broke the affair story was published by Hollywood Street King in an article titled "Busted: Jay Z Caught Cheating on Beyonce with Kathy White" in August of 2010. I managed to get a hold of Kathy at her job in New York over the phone. I then uncovered photos of Kathy hanging out with Jay Z and Diddy at a nightclub in Las Vegas, so I called her back and asked her about the photo evidence that debunked her initial claim that she had never met or hung out with Jay Z. At this point, Kathy expressed to Mimi that she would consider going public with her story. Days later, I tried to reach her at her work with no luck. I finally got a hold of one of her colleagues and I asked her if she knew why Kathy had been MIA. Her colleague shockingly told me she's dead. This story has gained plenty of attention over the years, even becoming the focus of a full video by Trappler Ross, who hinted that there might be more beneath the surface than we initially thought, but her friend and colleague Claudia Jordan has pushed back and has since tried to dead the story. Still, it continues to grow arms and legs, with people even theorizing that Ye hinted towards the situation between White and Jay Z on the infamous track Blood on the Leaves, when he said he only wanted to see that ass in reverse $22,000 bag with no cash in your purse. Now you sit and core-side wifey on the other side. Got to keep them separated. I call the AP part tight. Then she says she's pregnant. That's the night your heart died. Now you got to go to your girl and report that main reason cause your pastor said he can abort. That obviously Ye and Kenny have a complex relationship that could be deserving of his own video one day, but it wouldn't exactly be the first time that he blew the whistle on his former mentor and said more than he should have, because when they had fallen out in the past, Ye seemed to suggest that there was more reasons to be afraid of Ho.
I've been sent here to give y'all my truth, even at the risk of my own life, even at the risk of my own success, my own career. Jay Z called me, bro. You still ain't called me. Jay Z called me. Hey, bro, Jay Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them at my head. Just call me. Talk to me like a man.
But the whole thing gets even crazier, because unfortunately, just months after unveiling his TikToks about Jay and Beyonce's Uncle Ron's family, would take to his TikTok to announce that he had passed away. Let's make this clear. No one is saying that Havin Beyonce did anything. After all, he could have died of natural causes. But when you consider everything that's emerged as of late, you can bet that this sure isn't going to stop the conspiracy theories from coming. And who knows, if any of this is true, they might end up in a cell right alongside Diddy. If you didn't know by now, hip-hop is full of wild conspiracy theories.
Time to get married.
You know, it's difficult because I had to really learn how to have boundaries and how to have balance. I'm sorry.
That's both. You need both.
I need boundaries and balance. And it was great because it's something that I never have really talked about. And I still feel like it was difficult because and it still is, because I'm so excited about it. Mm-hmm. But it's important that I keep things that are pure and real in perspective, and I keep it separate from my performance life.
But do you like being a wife? Do you like being a wife as opposed to a girlfriend?
It feels great, but I can say to make sure you have your own life before you're someone else's wife.
And if you want to get more acquainted with more of them, just check out some of the videos on the screen. As always, I want to thank y'all for watching today's video. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for your boy, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.